It was the year 2011. YouTube still used their broadcast yourself slogan, and I was about 9 years old at the time, attempting to record my DS screen with a cheap camcorder in order to make Pokemon Let's Play videos. At the time, I had no ring light, I had no script, and no retention strategy. I was just a kid who watched Let's Players and thought, I could probably do that too. And now to this day, I'm in my mid-20s, and I've been making videos on YouTube since before most of the people watching this had a social media account. And the internet I started on just doesn't exist anymore. I grew up mainly when YouTube became mainstream, like gaming had just integrated into online services like Xbox Live or PSN, and social media shifted from Facebook to Twitter to Instagram and then to Snapchat and where it is now. All in all, I've created content across all these different platforms for 15 years of my life, alongside playing video games and of course engaging in the wonderful world of social media communities. So I want to start with diving into what it was like before everything changed. Now going back to when I was like 9 years old, I only lived in this house or basement for about a year, but I remember the room I had at the time. It was actually a pink room. Myself and my parents and my family hated it, but we moved into a basement apartment and didn't necessarily have the resources to paint it. It was something I always put up with, but I still loved this room. In this pink room, I had my bunk bed, and I had a dark spot under the bunk. So it was the perfect spot to record because you needed a little bit of lighting, but not too much, or else your camcorder wouldn't record it. And as I grew older, I'd make lots of channels that I'd either lose or forget about. I ended up making in real life skits at school. I was drawing hand comics and then recording them as video by video, and even commentary videos when I got old enough. It was just something that was in my nature and blood due to how social media was so appealing at the time. I remember the one episode of Johnny Test back in the day that super compelled me, where Johnny Test has to like make a viral video and he gets famous and like it's not really the best thing ever, but it was still just so cool to me. Just the thought that like I connected with that. I felt like Johnny Test. I felt like the kid trying to make viral videos to like show up to school in a Lambo. And no matter where I moved or went in life, I made videos, and especially once I landed in a small town, for most of my life until now, it was really the one true outlet I had to be both productive and engage myself. I used to record every day after school, from grade 6 to grade 8, making daily videos about any topic I had in mind. Most of these videos would get no more than 20 views, but I was in love with the possibility of uploading another video that broke 200 views or had a couple positive comments. As I grew older, job opportunities were not present. Education was taken away from me at an early age, and the system had given up on me, so I knew what I had to do. Pursue what I love doing, and that just happened to be YouTube. But on a viewer's side, I'm pretty much like addicted. You know, since last year, April 2025, I've watched over 3,000 hours of YouTube, and in my lifetime, if we times just that for 10 years, then I've probably watched over 30,000 hours worth of content. I studied the platform like it was my life's mission, and eventually would launch my main channel, Cool Kid Croc, which is now sitting at 31,000 subscribers and keeps me checking on the platform every single day for years on end. Building that channel still took me years into adulthood, and then my second channel, Croc Hammer, I ended up starting it and I got monetized in less than a week. The first video that I posted got thousands of views and hundreds of subscribers, like I was spoiled. The things I used to literally dream about in my dreams growing up, like my algorithm real-time graph spiking into the thousands, happens now to me frequently. I can go check it right now and I'll have a vision of what I would have saw in my dreams 10 years ago. But for me, making videos was never a career plan. It was something I loved to do and would have loved to make money from it, but never thought I would be able to, and was never the core reason for why I wanted to do it. As time went on though, it ended up being the only thing I could do for free time in my life when I had nothing. I had times where I couldn't find work in real life, but I could make a video to end up making me an extra $100 or two. And even after my house fire at 19 years old, I didn't have a pencil or paper, but I could borrow my girl's phone to edit together videos and keep my people updated on how I'm doing. My life wasn't determined by analytics at the moment. It was the content that meant something to me, but the analytics are what makes it possible. To get even more analytical about it, a few stats that I find interesting are 79% of people miss early TikTok compared to the brain rot slop that's served on the platform lately. 72% of people say content feels staged, performative, or disingenuous, and most are pushing their own brands or products for profit. Then back up to 78% 80% of people find YouTube as their favorite platform. I think all of these three things relate to each other because they're very similar numbers in the 70 to 80% range, but all of the topics kind of correlate. We all saw the same cycle with content growing up, whether it was YouTube in the early 2010s or TikTok in the early 2020s. Authentic, raw content got replaced by content that's popular, monetized, optimized, and performative. I feel this as well with both platforms. Like when TikTok first came out, I thought it was awesome. Right away, I was making clips of my YouTube videos and gaming moments to post to the platform, and watching content felt different than traditional social media like YouTube or Twitter. But now years later, I can't even get on the TikTok app for more than a few seconds, as I only want to check my notifications, my analytics, and then get out of there, as the content on a platform doesn't make me feel happy, entertained, or productive. In contrast, when I was younger, I used to watch the Game Grumps Let's Plays, not only for fun, but to see how Aaron and Dan would interact back and forth, so I could try to learn from them and how to speak and be confident while also being humorous. I did this with a lot of different creators, and as I grew up, I realized Let's Plays just didn't really work because too many people were doing them. Even when I got 3,000 subscribers making episodes on games and going as far to script, edit, and make unique thumbnails for these Let's Plays, I had to go miles ahead, and they're still only making me like $10 to $20 on average, and not really growing my channel past the viewers I'd already obtained. The day I decided to combine all my Let's Play episodes into one video and make a massive 9-hour long video with all the intros and outros edited out, the video exploded in popularity and earned me thousands of dollars in subscribers. For that point, I needed to pivot direction. Instead of 20-minute episodes I'm making, I need to make at least 2-hour long movies, but even 2-hour long videos don't do well. Honestly, I do really well with the 3 to 4 hour videos up to 8 hours or 12 hours. My longest video is like 17 hours long. I had to find a gap in the market, and I had to serve an audience that I had to discover myself. They would have never watched 20 episodes of the Oblivion Let's Play, but people will watch one massive video. It made it so I had to upload once a month, sometimes even less than that, as videos took a week to record and sometimes multiple weeks to edit. And even though I'm playing games, recording like the Game Grumps, and I've optimized my format, it's exactly that. It no longer feels like a true passion and inspiration, as it feels much more like a job or career. And in a way, I think the internet is an equalizer for how it affects all of us. For a small town kid like me, I could build something and reach way more people than I'd ever be able to in my local community. But at the same time, it never did reward just any kid who had a DS. It rewarded retention and engagement. It taught me that platforms, content, and the internet itself is a product. It's subjective to value. Just like any product, it has market changes and trends which help it come and go. And today, the barrier to entry is even higher. It rewards the kids with the ring lights, with the $200 microphones, and for hitting every retention beat in the first 30 seconds. I feel like the internet was supposed to be this place where a kid in a small town could build something real, and for a while it was. Like, I'm living proof of that. But the platforms figured out that our attention was worth money, and the playground became a factory. As both a customer and a creator, we're trapped in the algorithm. As corny as that is to say, I would probably be making like way more chill content if YouTube wasn't so strict or if algorithm wasn't so demanding. The difference between how I grew up, I watched PewDiePie build up his brand video by video, series by series, and eventually take over the world, and it was fucking awesome. It motivated me to edit like PewDiePie, record every day, do 2 uploads a day after school. But even PewDiePie had to adapt. Thumbnails, titles, hooks, retention curves, hemorrhoids, all these things that the algorithm throws in our faces that flashbangs us in a nasty way. Now, instead of doing it all by myself, there's how-to videos. vidIQ has a YouTube channel and an extension to let me see how many views per hour videos are getting. And let me say this now, there is no other app in human history that creates more anxiety, depression, and borderline psychosis than YouTube Studio. That app is a fucking monster. Whether my video is a 10 out of 10, meaning it's gray, it's bad, and it didn't do well, it's the worst out of the last 10 videos I uploaded, or I have a 1 out of 10 where literally fireworks pop off on the screen and I get congratulated. No matter what, my heart is racing, my mind is rushing, and dopamine is either flowing or being blocked by numbers. And now I'm on this brand new channel, like 10th video I'm scripting for Lemming Theory, and it's starting to feel like a new save file. I switched to my main save file or my main channel and I see thousands of views each day. And while I love this, I've been building it up for so long. And now that I got this new channel and new save file that I just started, having my first video just reach 200 views with 100 hours of watch time is a great feat to hit. Most people would be upset or want faster results, but I'm trying to be happy with the content that I'm making, and sometimes that can be difficult, even on Instagram or posting photos and other sources of social media. I think the stress of trying to show off something interesting or compel your friends or a community to interact with you is across every account we own. So in the end, I ask myself, if 79% of us miss the internet that used to be, then why don't we just make it what it used to be ourselves? The internet is the only place some of us like myself have ever been able to build anything. We're nostalgic for the only home we ever had. And with this channel, it is my goal to try to bring that back a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I put a lot of effort into my content right now. For a quick summary and example, I'm scripting outlines for these videos, I'm researching topics, I'm drawing these lemming characters with my girlfriend for each thumbnail, and I'm putting my life stories out on the internet for anyone to judge. But I think that's beautiful. That's a huge process that I get because of YouTube and the internet. I've spent years making content tailored for like a specific audience in numerous different gaming niches, but now I'm finally trying to make content for people like myself, fellow lemmings lost in the level of life. And just like any channel I've ever started, I started this channel with 0 subscribers and 0 eyes on it. I also didn't tell anyone or shout it out on my main channel, and naturally, it's reaching people who connect with me. I know not everyone is going to end up liking my content. They never have on any channel that I've made, but those who do end up liking my content mean a lot to me, and I mean a lot to them, so they're why I'm making the videos. For every one person that's been misled into lava, I want to help guide 100 lemmings to the next level. You know, that's my goal. I want to try to tell my low-income struggle stories and express myself through Gen Z-based social commentary to connect with other people who are similar. And I do this through like simple gameplay from games that I love. All of them are recorded by myself, games that I own and I record or I play off and on, but I don't have opportunity to make videos on for Cool Kid Croc or my main channels. And the answer really isn't finding out who you're making the content for. It's asking yourself, if there was no algorithm, if you had like no money in it and nobody was ever gonna watch you, would you still want to make the content or leave that behind in history? Like if you started recording tomorrow with no followers, no strategy, no algorithm to optimize for, would you still make the same video? Because yeah, I know what I'd make. The same thing I made when I was 9. You know, like a Pokemon Let's Play recorded with a camcorder, something that nobody asked for. Because at the end of the day, I'll keep trying to learn new strategies, skills, and improve my art skills so I can make these thumbnails look better and better with each upload. But inherently, I'm passionate about what I'm doing on the internet. This is much better than sharing memes on Facebook or sending my friends TikToks. I want to make the TikToks, and I want to influence how the internet's going to shape. So if I can help out by not making brain rot content, and I can just make chill, laid back content or give my perspective on things in a different way, but I think that's still beautiful, and that helps me shape the internet back into the idea of kind of what I want it to be again. Now, I got a public Discord server in the description with all my lemming characters added as emojis, so join up, say hi, you know, start a discussion in there. We just got it going. I also have a school community, but other than that, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and if you believe the Lemming Theory is real, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.